Alright, so we're starting on part 3 of Cori working on my feet. You can see here now she started on my right foot and she's using her heel really effectively into the ball of my foot. This area is really tight on me. I remember feeling that one. It's so good to get it loosened up. So just using her heel to get right into my foot. It's an area that's quite hard to massage, usually the heel, so using your heel to do it is really good. And again, that precision with her toes and the ball of her foot going on to some of the bands that are coming from my big toe and my second toes. Big toe sacrum band, big toe belly band. Through the Achilles there. And again, there's so much use of gravity there. And with her, obviously with her right foot, she's getting right into that tension. Imagine how difficult that would be with your fingers. And her other foot's actually stabilizing my foot because my feet have a tendency to go out. Cori always calls it that I walk like a penguin. And this is really nice, getting both feet in there. You guys getting very relaxed by this stage. Again, she's now demonstrating different techniques with the ball of her foot and the side of her foot. So when you're combining the pressure of your foot, you can like move the foot slightly, you can like twist your foot, but always using your body weight. You can see she's definitely using her body weight to get in there. It's interesting looking at my own heels from different perspectives. I definitely see why I was a foot model before. Now she's getting into the Achilles. I'm just working up my calves. My calves get very tight. Again, as I do a lot of work in the garden. We've got the Raynor Naturopathic Gardens and Wildlife Refuge here, and it's 17 acres. I spend a lot of time wheelbarrowing mulch and pulling weeds out and walking around the garden doing various activities. So my legs get pretty tight. Lawn mowing and that sort of thing as well. Just been getting a lot of loose sticks around the garden. And twigs and branches, not twigs, but branches and trees and mulching them up. So yeah, my legs have been pretty tight. So you can see with my other leg moving that was right at my threshold. So she's working about 9.5 for me. My tight calves. So the top of the calf muscle tends to be more sensitive than the lower part. So where she's working here, you can actually handle heavier pressure, most people. And then as you go up, got two major muscle groups there, the soleus and the gastrocnemius. Yeah, the big part of the calf muscle where she's working now is Got the gastrocnemius muscles on the outside, and soleus is kind of below and right below the surface. But it's around where she's working. Although that's the Achilles tendon. The soleus muscle is up around there as well. So the soleus muscle tends to be able to handle deeper pressure. And then once you get up to the gastrocnemius, where she is now, it can be quite sensitive, especially on people. I've got fairly big calf muscles, so when they're tight, they're quite sensitive. A lot of people have commented on why don't we get people to clean their feet before we massage. Well, I did, but when you live in a dusty climate, it's hard to get some of the ingrained dirt out of your feet. And really, that's life. Go to Africa or something like that where people walk barefoot a lot. We're not always going to clean their feet because we're not like actually a beauty therapy place. We're more about finding and getting rid of tension. That's our main purpose. And the dirt that we have usually on our feet is just soil anyway. It's not like it's like dirt in a city with all the grease and oils and things. It's just a bit of soil, but that's about as clean as my feet get. So now she's moved to have me in the side area where she can really stretch my foot out. And using that precision of her toes to get right into. That feels really amazing, actually. It shows how precise you can actually be when you're working with your feet. And all those little tight bits around my ankle. Feels really good. Kind of intense, but good. Up near my threshold, but it just feels nice to get it worked and loose. So yeah, after working the ankle, she comes back up and gets into what I call the outer leg band or the outer little toe band. This is the basis for what people call the ITB band. In my opinion, it's what holds that ITB band, coming all the way to the little toe. But because my band, the band that I recognize, is bigger than the ITB band. This all feels great. You can hear, I don't know if you can hear it, but there's lots of birds in the background right now, all having their conversations. Say we live on a naturopathic garden and wildlife refuge, so you can often hear all sorts of animal noises in the background. This is so good. This area gets really tight on me. Feels so nice just to have it worked, rolled over. Gotta try and keep this body loose and healthy as possible. Make it so I can stay on the planet for a while. As long as I don't get like assassinated by some government organization that doesn't like me teaching how to help people, cutting into the profits of pharmaceutical companies. Healthy people don't make the pharmaceutical companies richer. So I think I upset a few people. But it's alright. We all gotta die one day. Kind of a bit of a war in some ways, between love and care for people and people that just trying to exploit other people in the name of health. So this has helped. I had a lot of stress lately in dealing with this stupid government organization. That's, in my opinion, not sure what the right word to use is, but unprofessional is what I would say, amongst other words. Gonna talk to you guys more about it. I've just been preparing all sorts of stupid court documents and things, and how one branch of the government can protect another branch and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, yeah, so Cori's helping get rid of some of that stress, and I've been doing a lot of flower essence therapy, which has been fantastic. Had a lot of great feedback from some of my fans too, like Skinny Cow and Liam, and different people helping out with different ideas and thoughts and things like that. I'm going to do some more videos about that as well. Appreciate everybody actually that's provided that moral support and sending me good energy. That's been really nice. I love this move that she's doing now where she stretches out the foot while holding. Yeah. We've got some really happy news too coming up. So I want to share with you guys, but not yet. This is just, I love this stretch in the foot. I get so tight through here. And again, it's like the base of that area that comes up the side of the leg. Oh, it feels so good. So, we always got to look at the difference between good and bad pain. I always say good pain is where you're finding tension and getting rid of it. And you can see I'm in some good pain here. Up at my limit. It has been a, emotionally stressful time for me. And physically, for two different reasons, like working in the garden and then just dealing with basically it feels like a witch hunt because of the level of incompetence that the government has and their whole thing about doctors in Australia being able to do cervical manipulations without having any training or anything, but naturopaths with 30 years experience can't. It's like, that's not discriminatory, is it? Liam sent me a great email about that with talking to his doctor, who was like, I don't do. He recognizes areas where he's qualified, and he refers people to areas where he's not. And it's so simple. But Australia's got some fucking stupid idiots. They're just corrupt. That's all I can say. Because it is. It's corruption. It's a form of blatant hypocrisy. Using public safety as a excuse to create an oligopoly, which means like 4 health professions control a lucrative trade in cracking people's necks, and I come along and been doing it for a long time. Actually, it's just that I was in Hawaii when they introduced their legislation. I come along and provide a better way, because massaging people obviously helps loosen up all the muscles before you crack a neck, and it's going to be safer. But they can do 20 neck manipulations in an hour and earn a lot of money, so it's a threat to their economy. So they have to come out and say, oh yes, what are you doing is unsafe, but then their expert witness doesn't even seem to know the difference between high and low amplitude or anything. He's like I call him a fake expert. He's either dishonest or not an expert. Whole talk about that anyway, but right now we'll focus on this. It's just nice to de-stress. Where's Cori working on me? Because it can actually feel quite isolating when you're especially during COVID, when you're facing powerful bodies. I always look at it like great power comes great responsibility, but the Australian or the Queensland government doesn't seem to take that responsibility seriously, because they like I said before, they create false findings of fact and try and make out, it's a transcription error when they're transcribing written words. It's like, who does that? Who transcribes a written word to a website and makes a mistake as a government body just to change a statement to make me look bad? It's just bullshit. So, but yeah, it's been a witch hunt going on for hundreds of years against natural therapists. I was doing my ancestry thing, and I found one of my relatives actually went to New Hampshire in the early 1600s, and so she's about my 16th great grandma, and she was practicing Native American medicine, and the Puritans ended up accused her of witchcraft, and it was at the time of the Salem witch trials, but she was actually in New Hampshire, Portsmouth. She ended up taking him back to court and suing him for slander in the 1600s. So I'll have to leave a link in the description if I remember to her. So I was pretty proud of my 16th great-grandma taking on the authorities at the time, and for basically the same sort of thing, discrimination. The Puritans didn't like Native American medicine. It was all based on, of course, racism and cultural superiority. Same as what's going on here in Australia. The people that are judging me are people that are into what I call materialistic medicine. A physiotherapist guy who doesn't believe in chi. People that refuse to swear on the Bible. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in chi. They don't believe in anything that's not material. And then they're judging me because I practice Ayurvedic medicine and Chinese medicine that's all based on chi and life force. This is a particularly good move that Cori's doing now, where she's stretched out the foot and is working on it. I felt a lot better after this. It's starting to rain really heavy right now, actually, for the first time in weeks or months. I end up having to get up and clean the gutters and do that sort of thing, so it's about to finish now. But it was great. Definitely appreciate having a nice wife that cares about me. All right. See you next time.